So Jagmeet Singh and the federal NDP have done it once again. They have voted to protect Justin Trudeau's Liberal government from another no confidence motion from Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives. This time, hilariously enough, the entire no confidence motion was written in Jagmeet Singh's own words, using his criticisms against Trudeau to justify why the government needs to be dissolved so we can have another election. So Jagmeet Singh wants to have it both ways. One day he wants to get out of his Maserati holding his very expensive leather bag, sashay up to a podium, and have a press conference about how much Trudeau has betrayed working class Canadians and that he's unfit for office and a corporate stooge. But then the next day he wants to protect the Liberals because, let's face it, the NDP's broke and cannot face another election right now, and he wants to make sure that all of his MPs who qualify for their pensions by October of 2025 get them. It's all cynical, it's very transparent, and this is why the NDP is going absolutely nowhere in the polls right now. It should be easier than ever to be the NDP in Canadian politics because Trudeau's Liberal Party is on the floor bleeding out. And if, as the NDP, you are the party that's just another step to the left of the Liberals. So, in theory, you should be raking in new supporters. The problem is, people hate Justin Trudeau. And Jagmeet Singh has made himself the executive assistant of Justin Trudeau. So everyone knows that if you vote for the NDP, you're just getting another Liberal party. The only way that the NDP and the Liberals ever disagree on a policy is along the lines of how much money is being spent on it. How broad is the new program? The NDP are basically just the Liberals plus some extra dollar signs. That's pretty much it. The Liberals are not corporate. The Liberals are big government in the same way that the NDP is big government. And the NDP even criticizes the Liberals for, shilling for corporations. At the same time, the NDP were in a partnership with them for years, voting on all these same policies that Jagmeet Singh is now criticizing. I want to get into some of the video clips from this, some of the Conservative MPs reacting to it, as well as the vote happening on the floor. But first, I just want to mention, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, make sure you go hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, and you can always donate to the Give, Send, Go legal fund that's in the description below, as well as pinned at the top of the comments. I always like using lefty people's reactions to things going on because I always find it very telling about why the left is not doing very well in Canada right now. Here is this guy, Jason Pugh, who says, "Watch, here Poilievre fails again at the House of Commons as the House of Commons defeats his vote of no confidence. The House has no confidence in Pierre Poilievre." Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is the House of Commons having no confidence in Pierre Poilievre because the NDP and Liberals are cynically trying to protect Justin Trudeau from a vote of no confidence in their very unpopular government.
The table will now compile the results of the vote.
Yeas pour 152, 152. Nays contre 180, 180.
I declare the motion defeated.
So this was defeated with only 180 votes, with 152 votes saying that they do want the government dissolved. The only margin that is keeping Justin Trudeau in right now is the NDP. Jagmeet Singh, too, has played this so poorly, but I'm going to get to that in just a second. I'll let it kind of keep playing for a bit here.
See that the honourable leader of the opposition is rising on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, you went out of your way before the vote to point out that members are not allowed to come and go during the vote. I did note that the NDP leader came in right in the middle of the vote, having missed the fact that the vote was on his own words. Would you please call him to order for having had his team vote against his own words?
And that's the real political, and I'm going to say game, and not in a bad way. Politics, oftentimes, is a lot about games, power games, communications, strategies. And this is a brilliant communication strategy. Keep making Jagmeet Singh eat his own words. Keep making him obviously carry the water of Justin Trudeau so that Jagmeet Singh keeps bleeding votes towards the Conservatives. Honestly, the NDP might actually lose votes compared to 2021. They're polling at 21% right now, and they got about 17% of the vote back in 2021. But the problem is the NDP always polls higher than they actually get in terms of votes on election day, because the NDP doesn't have infrastructure to go get the vote out. They don't have the infrastructure to door knock everywhere. The Liberals and the Conservatives are very fairly wealthy parties these days, though. The Liberals are very broke, almost similarly to the NDP, because nobody wants to give them money, but they're able to run a campaign across the entire country. So even in ridings where the Conservatives are obviously not going to win, they still do a little bit of a get out the vote effort. They want to keep their voter numbers up in these ridings. The NDP don't do that. So when the NDP is only polling at 20%, view that as actually the NDP's probably lost 1.5 or 2 or 3 points of support, because the NDP typically polls around 22%, 23%, and then comes in only at 17 or 18 on election day. So, but I'll let this keep playing out here.
I see that the honourable member from New Westminster Burnaby is also rising on his feet.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. That's very rich coming from the Leader of the Opposition, who has left this House during his own motions in Opposition Day and refused to vote. As you know, Mr. Speaker, it is proper.
That's not Poilievre's point, though. It's not that Jagmeet Singh left the room, left the House of Commons chamber. His point, though, is that Jagmeet Singh's a coward. He has no problem with MPs not being present for certain votes. That's fine. But it's this particular vote that Jagmeet Singh does not want to show his face in. Peter Julian, frankly, should have just stopped talking. Don't stand up and respond to this. Why are you giving fuel to your own the humiliation of both your leader and your party?
Colleagues, I very patiently listened to the member from the official opposition. I'd like to hear the honourable member from New Westminster Burnaby. I didn't catch the last little bit of his comment.
It's a bit rich from the hypocrisy we've seen from the Leader of the Official Opposition, but as you know,
you can even see Peter Julian doesn't seem very confident anymore in repeating what he said, realizing that all he's doing is highlighting. Because saying, well, Poilievre's also a hypocrite just means that you're admitting Jagmeet Singh is also a hypocrite. So, like, don't talk, don't do this. Why are you doing this, Peter?
Mr. Speaker, in virtual parliament, you have the right to vote remotely and come in for a second vote. That is indeed what has happened in this case.
Yeah. That's why Jagmeet Singh couldn't be bothered to show up. He was just too busy, polishing his McLaren, making sure that there wasn't any dirt on his Rolex watch. He couldn't be bothered to be there right now. He's got useless stuff to be doing. And here's why this is so stupid. On the behalf of Jagmeet Singh, this is what Jagmeet Singh said 3 hours ago. This vote has not yet happened today. So Jagmeet Singh said, here, I'll pull this up so you can see it better. He says, today, New Democrats will vote for a permanent GST tax cut on essentials. What will the Conservatives and Liberals do? And let's be very clear, the permanent GST tax cut is not actually that big of a deal. There's very limited items you would want the GST removed on, and that's good. I'm actually in favor of any tax relief, but Jagmeet Singh was ballyhooing Justin Trudeau's GST HST cut until literally like 5 seconds ago, like 3 days ago. Jagmeet Singh said, oh, actually we should make this permanent, and Trudeau's a hack, and Poilievre's a hack too, because Poilievre doesn't like this stupid bait and switch GST cut or this freeze, because it's just trying to buy up goodwill for later on when people then are like have their carbon tax doubled. And then he's like, well, and the Liberals are also hacks because they don't want to make it permanent. But Jagmeet, why didn't you threaten Trudeau to say, if you do not vote to make the GST permanent, then I will be voting for the no confidence motion, because it's clear that you can't even do the bare minimum. See, guys, I'm not a political genius by any measure, but I'm not stupid. I'm not Jagmeet Singh. I could actually probably extract some more value for an ideology I don't even believe in than Jagmeet Singh can. That's actually always, this is a point that actual Justice Warrior and other people have made. Actually, I think it's Ann Coulter's point that he's repeated, that the whole accusing anyone of being a grifter is always a really stupid accusation, because if you're getting beaten in a conversation or a debate by a grifter, what does that say about you? That somebody who doesn't even believe in the things that you believe is able to articulate it better than you, or at least they're arguing from a position that they don't believe in, but they can still like hammer you. Jagmeet Singh is just bad at representing the values he believes. Maybe he doesn't even believe them. It doesn't matter though. He's just ineffective. But here is Shivloy Majumdar. I always say people's full names, and I know what Shiv's full name is. Here's Shivloy Majumdar from the Conservatives reacting to the vote on X, and he says, the Maserati Marxist Jagmeet Singh proves he's only in it for his pension, once again refusing to vote no confidence in Justin Trudeau. His words mean nothing. Canadians needs a carbon tax election now. And obviously a lot of this is boilerplate type political rhetoric, but boilerplate political rhetoric is very effective when it's this easy a layup on Jagmeet Singh. Plus, Maserati Marxist is just a great name. Here's also exactly why Jagmeet Singh is trying to do this last minute change on the GST HST tax holiday, because look at this poll from Angus Reid. This is the question. It says the GST HST tax holiday and one-time check are, so that's both the GST HST tax holiday and the $250 check. 84% of people say it is a political maneuver, not genuine help. 7% say genuine help, and I guarantee almost all that 7% are Liberal voters not wanting to say that their own peoples are, their own party is doing cynical political maneuvers. And that's 4,004 people who were polled. That's not a small poll. Here is Michael Cooper from the Conservatives, I think one of the best Conservative MPs right now. One of my favorite MPs, I talked about in my last video, Kevin Vaughn, but in the Conservative Party only, I would say Michael Cooper is probably in my top 5. I like Cooper, Damien Carrick. Jamil Javani is really impressing me these days. There's Leslie Lewis. I don't consider Poilievre part of my favorite MP category because leaders have to do leader stuff, and oftentimes leaders are supposed to be the bad guy. And so if you rely only on, and I've gotten messages from people saying Poilievre doesn't touch on this enough, Poilievre doesn't say enough on this. Well, oftentimes the leader is kind of like the middle guy in the party who's supposed to balance factions against each other, not against each other, but they're trying to balance the factions. So oftentimes Poilievre might not talk about a bill that you care about, or he might go soft on an issue, but the whole point is to have a critic or an MP who's the attack dog on that issue. So like Jamil Javani is very much the attack dog when it comes to immigration. There are other people who are the attack dog on defund the CBC. So that's how it tends to work. And I will still say when the Conservatives need to have a better, clear position on issues, I think that the Conservatives need to have a clear position on immigration. Yes, they think that the Liberals are not cutting new permanent residencies and visas enough. That's a good start. We need it lower than what the Liberals have even cut it to, 85,000, 95,000 right now. I think that the immigration rate needs to be cut like 80%. 80% visa reductions, 80% permanent resident reductions, less up, capped max 100,000 people for the next 10 years with value tests, skill tests, means tests, all that stuff, as well as making sure there's caps on dependents that you can bring along with you. I don't think you get to bring, like through chain migration, 12 members of your family, many of them who are not working age anymore and can't contribute to the tax pool. Anyways, miniature aside, done. Here is Michael Cooper's video reacting to the vote. I thought he does a good job at articulating what's going on here.
Jagmeet Singh has demonstrated that his words mean absolutely nothing. I'm standing outside of the House of Commons chamber where moments ago the House of Commons voted on a Conservative motion of non-confidence in Justin Trudeau's costly and corrupt government. The text of the motion was made up entirely of Singh's own words, including that Liberals are too weak, too selfish, and too beholden to corporate interests to fight for Canadians. Conservatives agree, but apparently Jagmeet Singh doesn't agree with himself, because moments ago, Singh and the NDP sold out yet again to Justin Trudeau. They voted.
I'll also add there on what Michael Cooper is saying, that the Liberals or that the Liberals are beholden to corporate interests. The funny thing is that the Conservatives don't even exactly agree with the NDP on that, because in fact the NDP are actually very much in favor of corporate interests. Not only crown corporations, which they're very in favor of, but they also are absolutely in favor of subsidizing green energy corporations and other basically failed companies that couldn't survive on their own. The NDP are totally fine with that. If you can have a worker angle to any argument, they're totally fine subsidizing anyone. Plus, Jagmeet Singh, for the longest time, wouldn't even include Metro grocery stores in his criticism of corporate grocery chains, because his brother and Khalistani idiot, Guratan Singh, I think that's how you say it, that he was a lobbyist for Metro. Metro has the largest profit margins of any of the corporate grocery store chains. And guess what? I don't care. They can make whatever money they want as long as customers aren't being forced to shop there. Then it's totally fine with me. I shop at more expensive and less expensive grocery stores. Not one of them has extracted my money from me illegally. Plus, also small grocery store chains tend to actually have higher prices. So it's not always fair to say, like, oh, there's price gouging going on. Like, really? The big guys are somehow price gouging with lower margins than the small local place, which, because they do not have the advantage of having a scale of economy, are not price gouging you while they're selling you tomatoes for like $7. But whatever. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know what Jagmeet Singh knows.
To come to the rescue and prop up Justin Trudeau's government. And in so doing, Jagmeet Singh sold out workers, sold out Canadians, and sold out his purported principles. Why? Because Jagmeet Singh wants his $2.2 million pension, but he doesn't qualify until next year. So Jagmeet Singh and the NDP have come up with new terms to the NDP Liberal Coalition Agreement. And they are that Singh gets his pension, Trudeau gets his power, and Canadians get the bill. Jagmeet Singh.
The thing too is, this is the one thing I disagree with honestly everyone on. I don't think that Jagmeet Singh is exactly, I don't think he actually cares about his own pension. One, he's actually still a fairly young man. He still doesn't qualify for his pension, even if he leaves politics for another like decade and a half. He's, in his 40s. I don't think that he cares that much about his personal pension. I think his other MPs care about their pension, and they don't qualify for their pension until October. Singh was elected halfway through 2019, so in late spring he gets his. So that's really, I think, Singh's motivation on the pension thing. It's his own MPs want their pensions, but I think he deserves to be thrashed on the pension issue anyways, because Jagmeet Singh won't come out and say what his interests are. But I think his main interest is Jagmeet Singh is he is a bird who likes to collect shiny objects. Jagmeet Singh is just collecting shiny rings and nice little things because he likes attention. Jagmeet Singh's shiny object that he likes is media attention. He loves being on Twitch streams with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and Hassan Piker, Chank's nephew. He likes to be noticed. He likes to be seen. He likes to be on podcasts and hang out with TikTokers. Once he's not the NDP leader, who cares what Jagmeet Singh has to say? He's an irrelevant figure like so many other previous NDP leaders. Thomas Mulcair sometimes is talking in the media. Nobody really cares what Thomas Mulcair has to say. And can you name a previous NDP leader other than Jack Layton? No, because most NDP leaders are just sanctimonious mouthpieces for public sector unions and not much more, so you don't really have to care who they are. Jagmeet Singh really likes to be seen wearing like nice things because it makes him feel fashionable. He is a cocktail party politician, and once he's not the leader, what's the point of inviting Jagmeet Singh to your cocktail party? He's just some random failure of an NDP leader. The only reason he's still NDP leader, let's be very frank about this, is that he's South Asian. That the NDP doesn't want to kick out the first leader wearing a turban from their party, so he gets to lose 3 times in a row, whereas previous NDP leaders who performed better than him only got to lose 1 time and they were kicked out. Let's just be frank about that. The NDP are so woke that they can't get rid of a failed party leader because of which community they come from. They have to let him fail multiple times before they can make the argument that maybe he's not very good at his job. Anyways, so that's it for me today, guys. If you want to, again, follow the channel, make sure you're subscribed so you see all the videos. I have my Give, Send, Go legal fund linked in the description below, as well as the top of the comments. And actually at the top of the comments, also insert my Telegram channel. If you guys want to get all the videos in order as they come out and not rely on YouTube throwing it into your feed, then you can just go straight to the Telegram and all the stuff will be posted in order. As well as my website's down there, WyattClaypool.com. If you go on there, you can sign up to my email list, to my contact list. I'm trying to grow a contact list so that in leadership races and nomination races around the country, I can give you my preferred ballot of who I think is the most conservative and professional and effective in order top to bottom, so that we can have a greater impact as real conservatives on conservative nomination races, or else you're really relying on very scanty information on who you're voting on in these nominations, even though in like 90% of ridings, nominations basically determine who's the MP. And in reality, technically every nomination determines who the MP is going to be, because every person who is elected at one point had to run in a nomination race or was appointed by the party leader. So we want to make sure to actually have a greater impact on those things. So sign up there, and as the list grows, I will have a greater ability to actually recommend good people. Right now in Manitoba, there is a PC leadership contestant that I think would make a great leader for the Manitoba PC party. And then in New Brunswick, since Blaine Higgs not only lost the election but lost his own seat, the PCs in New Brunswick will have to have another leadership election. And there is both a candidate I am encouraging to run for, and if he does run, I will 100% be asking people to sign up who live in New Brunswick. I think that, again, we want very consistent fiscal and social conservatives leading all the parties who are also savvy and aggressive enough that they can actually win elections, not people who just simply are very meek and very unconvincing type messengers on behalf of their policies. We want people who actually know how to play the politics game, but are actually focused on real results that are actually substantial. Anyways, so that's it for me today, guys. Have a good one.